I'm looking at this page, right? The one that always caught me was like that girl sucking on the Visa. Jesus Christ.
That was just on. Yeah, I got some other ones. There's another one where it's like this bottle of pills, but instead of the pills, it's actually like Facebook likes that are like tumbling out of it.
Oh my God, the Jordan Peterson one.
The Peterson one's really good. Yeah, that was. Oh, by the way, that one is from. That was after he did the show with Pierce Morgan, and he was crying and everything, and he's like the king of the incels, right?
Right.
I'm like, okay, sounds like the king of the Jews, which is straight out of like Jesus Christ Superstar.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh, we got to use that, And of course, everybody's gonna say, oh, it's blasphemous, and it is. But that's the effect. So I try to tell a story with my thumbnails, but again, that useless art degree comes in real handy.
Comes in clutch.
Once again.
But how would you have guessed? Like, this is why I always tell people, just get skills and just learn into things you're really interested about, because you never know. Like, how would you have predicted you be YouTubing right now? Like, imagine you're what, 30, 32, 34 years old on SoSwap. Did you ever think you were going to be on YouTube? Are you going to be a full-time YouTuber and talking to guys and stuff?
I didn't even, it's funny. It's my first foray into YouTube had nothing to do with the Red Pill.
Yeah.
I used to help these guys out on this old school podcast called 40K Radio. It was when I was playing, Warhammer 40,000. And it was a lot. It was just basically, it was basically an excuse to like get drunk and talk shit.
Yeah.
And so, but we had a really good time. And it was fun. It actually ended up becoming something after a while. But we were talking about like YouTube. It wasn't really so much a podcast at the time, because it took a lot of effort to do that. So like, we just take this whole thing here for granted. You used to have to be able to like know something about videography, and you used to have to be able to like doing a live stream. Do you remember Hangouts on YouTube?
Oh yeah.
That kind of stuff. Like, that's what we used to have to do. And so we're talking like 2008, 2009 is when it came up. Right. And then I think we kind of quit like right around 2011. But that was actually my first kind of entry into it. But I was just producing. I wasn't even really so much like on the show or anything like that.
Right.
And so I learned a lot of skills, like the skills that I have right now. I use those. I learned those along the way just because I had a keen interest in stuff like digital photography. My videography skills. I'm really good at Premiere. I can do that no problem. I know pretty much everything in the Adobe like creative suite, like inside and out. The only thing I'm rusty at might be like Dreamweaver, but that's only because I've never had to really use it. Everything else I'm really, After Effects I'm good at, Illustrator, Photoshop I've been using since 1993.
Whew.
Yeah. So when it was 3.0 and the lighting effects just came out in the filters.
Jesus.
I remember that. So I've got a long and illustrious career when it comes to like my artistic stuff.
I mean, just to bring that into the context, it's like me saying like, I'm older than Bitcoin.
Yes.
I'm older than all this shit you guys invest in.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I've seen things kind of evolve over the years and everything, but like, again, my headspace was different then. And it's funny to look back on. I was watching Myron and Fresh on their 2-year anniversary show, which is tonight, actually.
Shoot, shout out to the boys.
And so they were showing some of these old videos of them from like even back in like 2020, before like they even had like the Frank Castling and the girls and all that stuff. They didn't even have an after-hour show back then. And I looked at that and I go, wow. I mean, humble beginnings, yes, but like it happened really quickly.
Yeah.
But you go and you look and see where they were like in July or August of 2020, and you look at where they're at right now. It's just, what happened, or how did they change their minds about media? How did they change their minds about, or have their minds changed for them, I guess, by money, with respect to money. You're looking at, like, I'm looking at Myron in, circa, August 2020. He doesn't have real estate holdings. He doesn't. He's barely able to, like, we were hoping we were going to be able to afford the apartment, right? And now, like, imagine what his outlook on money is.
Oh yeah.
From August 2020 to August 2022.
Multiple types.
It's a shock to the system.